What does your family do that you didn't realize was bizarre until later on in life? Share one hotel room for 7 people. Didn't realize people could afford multiple hotel rooms. Still, some of the best experiences of my life. This sounds like a Boyle family trip. My wife's family used to pass around a Tupperware full of vitamins after dinner, like just random pills as if they were mints. We don't refrigerate leftovers. Pizza goes in the oven. Turkey from Thanksgiving, oven. Fast food, microwave. Now that I'm older and understand that food goes bad, I refrigerate things, but my parents still don't. I'm surprised no one's gotten seriously ill from it. My dad is like that. He'll leave boiled hot dogs and all kinds of food out even if there's a lot of fridge space. There was also an E. coli outbreak in a local river and he told me how he doesn't believe in that stuff. At Christmas, we all give each other a set of underwear, which once you receive you have to say, "Oh thank you" really loudly, stand up, then put the underwear on your head to show everyone. I had to have a serious conversation with my wife after her first Christmas with us. Your dad was the dad of all dads. We have an old microwave that is installed above the oven that hasn't worked for years. Realizing how much it had cost to get it fixed, we just bought another one and now use that one to store junk food. Ours stores lids to all our pots. So, my family are huge lovers of mango, and especially my dad. So when it's mango season he'd buy a lot of mango and we'd all sit around and eat mango in our underwear so we wouldn't ruin our clothes. I thought this was normal as a kid. I even enjoyed it a lot too. But it feels pretty freaking bizarre now. Although I think the worst part is that I'll probably do the same thing with my kids, lol. My brother has a weird allergy to mango where he can eat it, but if the juice touches any of his skin, he'll break out into an awful rash wherever it touches. So many childhood memories of standing in the backyard eating mangoes whilst my dad sprayed my brother with the hose. Growing up, when my family made tacos, they always put that orange wishbone French dressing on them. I didn't realize this wasn't a thing until I went to a friend's house for Taco Tuesday with her family and I asked for French dressing. They looked at me like I was crazy, lol. Mom always just used hamburger with garlic, salt and pepper, and tomatoes and lettuce and American cheese. We put ketchup on them. Dad didn't like spicy food, so we essentially made cheeseburgers with tortilla shells. I still request this. My wife thinks I'm insane, but she puts mayo on hers. Fritters in tomato soup. I thought it was required. That sounds really good, to be honest. My immediate family, we don't fight. There might be minor, polite disagreements, but shouting at each other arguments? Nope. When I got married later, my in-laws were constantly at each other's throats. It was so alien to me. Like, you actually hate each other? I couldn't cope. I felt the opposite way when I saw my friend's family discussed problems with rational thoughts, not screaming. My family has been using a Langer's apple juice container from probably like 1997 to fill up with drinking water and put into the fridge. Still has the front label and everything. That was back when they used more plastic, so it's very sturdy, but we still use it today, lol. Okay, so, my mom was a pretty shitty parent. She didn't really teach me a lot and I was left alone most of the time. Most of the things I learned was from my cousin because she paid her to watch me while she would go to work or BS face somewhere IDK. Never took me to amusement parks or anything. It was all my cousin. Anyways, as a kid I firmly believed in Santa Claus. And that was because my mom didn't buy me crap as a kid. It was always my cousin getting me things and taking me places. And for Christmas I would always get really good things. Like, I would get a PS2, games I really wanted, a stereo, etc. Things I knew my mom couldn't afford, nor want to spend on me despite the fact she made at least $700 a month disability money because I am disabled. Anyways, for those reasons I firmly believed in Santa Claus, and I remember vividly kids in middle school telling me it was my mom and I 100% did not believe in them to the point I started crying about it. All the cool gifts were from Santa as well, BTW. All the gifts my mom would get me were socks, shirts, etc. My mom also reinforced that Santa was real. Heck, I believed in the tooth fairy for the same reason, since I'd get $5 every tooth I lost. Fast forward to just recently-ish, I'm 26, and I find out all the gifts from Santa were from my cousin and her mom, and they would give my mom gifts for me every year, and every year my mom would take off the name tags and replace them with Santa. I even remember her telling me how specifically my cousin and aunt didn't get me any Christmas gifts while growing up. I feel like she felt inferior or something because my cousins cared more about me and got me expensive gifts. When I grew out of the Santa thing, I actually believed my mom got me all those gifts and was using my disability money for them. Cause like, every year I got a crap ton of good stuff. It now makes a lot more sense. My cousin always knew what stuff I liked, cause we liked the same things. I even remember the year I got a Gamma Cube and how whenever I'd go to her house I'd want to play her Gamma Cube to play Harvest Moon. And that Christmas, what game did I get with my Gamma Cube? Harvest Moon. I never told my mom I wanted Harvest Moon. It was only my cousin that knew, so I fervently believed it was Santa that knew I wanted it through magic or whatever. Really shitty that my mom did that to my cousin and her mom. But this isn't even the shittiest thing she'd done. I could write a book how terrible a person she is. I really hope you're still in contact with your cousin and especially her mum. These kinds of people deserve to be recognized, especially since that's not why they would do it. Kudos to them. My dad loves corn on the cob. One summer he was such a fanatic about it, we ate it every day for 3 months. I am an adult now, and don't go near the stuff. Bet it sounds like a popcorn machine whenever your dad takes a dump. We pretty much never had sit-down family meals, and if we did it was from a restaurant. We ate in silence, and then we'd just wander off from the table one by one to watch TV or go on the computer or something. It's not that we hate each other or anything, it's just pretty much the way it's always been. My family is usually quiet while eating, and we joke around how everyone is quiet only when eating. Everyone in my family genetically has large hands and long arms, and I thought it was normal to compare arm and hand sizes at every family event. LMAO. Nice try, Donald. When I was younger we would go to my grandparents' house and my grandpa told my cousins and I that if we put fireflies under rocks the next day there would be a quarter waiting for us. Like a tooth fairy for fireflies. I used to try to catch as many as I could and put them under rocks around his yard and collect my quarters the next morning. Told this to a few people years later who looked absolutely horrified. Apparently not everyone's grandpa supports squishing fireflies under rocks for a quarter. Probably trying to keep the kids out of the adults' hair for a bit. Also, if you squish a firefly on your skin it still glows a bit. We have the blue binder. The blue binder lists all sorts of aches and pains and tells you what emotional or ancestral issue is causing that pain. Have seasonal allergies? It's because your dad never forgave his father. Sprained your ankle? It's because you have a fear of moving forward. Your right hand middle finger hurts? It's because you have penis envy. My mom still swears by this and thinks I contracted Lyme disease at 21 because of trauma in the birth canal. Spoiler, I don't talk to that psychotic lady anymore. I thought everyone who celebrated Christmas had a whole 3-day celebration starting on the 23rd of December. You see, we have Ham Day, 23rd, Turkey Day, 24th, Christmas breakfast, 25th. We also get together New Year's Day to eat pork chops and sauerkraut. That idea isn't so weird, but the part that gets me some looks of disgust is when I mention how we pour maple syrup on the sauerkraut. Interestingly enough, my family is neither German nor Canadian. On a genealogical level, we are overwhelmingly Scandinavian. Also, we live in north central West Virginia near Pennsylvania. My parents sleep on different beds since I have memory. Not because they don't love each other, they don't love themselves as a couple anymore though. My dad snores very loud, so it's a no-no for my mom. My parents always had separate rooms. My dad snored and had a weird schedule. My mom required good sleep. To keep me from watching too much TV, my dad told me that we had a 1-hour limit on our TV viewing. As in, we paid for 1 hour of TV per day and any more than that we would be charged extra for. Like AOL back in the day. When I started going to friends' houses where the TV was always on I got a bit suspicious. But I just figured they had more money than we did. Eventually after watching TV for hours and hours with one friend I asked her how much TV they paid for and she just looked at me like I was nuts. So I guess lying to your kid because it's easier than getting into a fight over a rule you want to enforce is the bizarre thing my family did. LOL. If he is still alive, Turn off his TV every hour and tell him you want to help saving money. My parents call doing a load of laundry a Xenon. Example, my mom will ask my dad to do half a Xenon if she means just put the stuff in the washer in the dryer and don't start a new load. Or a full Xenon is moving everything over, folding stuff in the dryer and starting a new load. They got tired of saying all that and it's always been a Xenon. Having no shame with being nude. At least in America that's weird. Granted, my father was not wandering the house nude as he has all daughters, but my mother, zero fricks to give. My sister, mom, and I just have no shame. I'm eating breakfast. Mom wanders into the kitchen naked to do her neti pot thing. I'm trying to take a bath. Here's mom or sissy trying to have a conversation. Walk into mom's bathroom, literally every door leading there wide open. Mom taking a bath. Stop and have a chat. Same with my sister. I've had so many dang bathtub conversations with my sister and mom. Also my mom's total nonchalance about being naked around my best girlfriends. No, they weren't uncomfortable, she asked or warned them, she just wanders around naked sometimes. So now I'm just always naked in my own home. Blinds open or not, I literally just don't even notice. Being nude is just my inherited natural state, lol. My mother would call us in to tell us stuff while she was in the bathtub. When I was younger, my whole extended family, except the ones in Germany, would share a farm together and go there on the weekends. We would spend the whole day weeding, raking, other chores, and goofing off outside. And at night, we would eat only potatoes and gravy, and the men would drink beer. After that, all of us kids would go into the living room and watch VHS tapes of adult movies that were probably too inappropriate for us to be watching at that age. We would do this until 11 o'clock, while the adults talked and played games, and then we would all go home, as my grandmother and grandfather were the only people who lived there permanently. That farm has been in the family for a long time. I think that sounds awesome. My mom would convince me to believe that I hated a food because she didn't like it, even if it's something I've never tried. This was a normal thing for me to have a growing list of foods that I hated. It's more of a funny thing now, but thinking more about it, it's pretty weird. I've broken away and tried some things only to realize that I've been missing out. When I try a food on the bad list, I feel my mom's disapproval with each delicious bite. Me and my brother both remember a time when my mom said that Dr. Pepper was spicy, so didn't have it for years because of that, and she still denies that she said that. My cousin would eat Fruit Loops with water. You are a bad person just for being related. They refer to farts as tooters. Said it in class once in grade 4 and was mocked forever for it. My family called them popsies and I would get punished if I had a popsie in public. My mom would let me and my brother run around naked for about 10 minutes before our bath, around ages 2-3. So we wouldn't want to take our clothes off in front of company because she read that some toddlers do that, but creating a time to be naked stopped it, I guess, and she didn't want to risk it or something. And she also would give us our popsicles in the bath or shower until we were about 4 so she could just hose us down and we didn't get everything sticky while eating them. Okay, those things actually make sense. I found out that a lot of families keep the towels outside of the bathroom, and that's really weird to me. When we watched movies, we would discuss what was happening, what we thought of the characters, or just random things that we thought of during the movie. When I would watch movies at my friend's house, they found this very annoying and I didn't realize people just sat in complete silence for 2 hours. I have since broken the habit, mostly, but when I meet up with my family it's the same as it used to be. Mixed ginger ale with whole milk. My father has ichthyosis. When I was a kid I would help him remove dead skin from and apply lotion to his back. I guess I knew not everybody did this, but never realized how weird picking your dad's back and lotioning your dad seems to the outside world. That is super nice of you to help him. I don't think it is weird. My mom and I are terrible people, so we would make up tragic stories about the people around us at restaurants. I went on a date with a guy once and the food was taking forever, so I figured, let's play the stories game. Not only was he mortified, but he said, what would your mom think if she heard you talking about people like this? And I said she'd probably agree that the dad is cheating on the woman. He looks like a cheater. We'd get along, you and I. My dad grew up pretty poor. He taught my siblings and me that peanut butter sandwiches dipped in Chef Boyardee raviolas is quite delicious. Still do it to this day on occasion. I grew up on those two things as well, but never once did I think to put them together. We call the TV remote the buttons, and we always have like it's normal, so when I would go to friends' houses and we'd watch TV I would say hand me the buttons and they had no idea what the frick I was saying. Thanks to my dad, up until the age of about 8 I thought that music only consisted of Cat Stevens, Queen, the Eagles and Supertramp. He didn't even listen to the radio and I pretty much had no idea anything else existed. You've been visited by the happiest doggo in the world. He wants to share his happiness but only if you let him know. Type I love you happy pupper to get some of his happiness. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.